What's up guys, it's Roger, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to use your Blink and Trials of Osiris on, and this is the part where I usually say the one map that is active, but kinda like last weekend, they did us dirty and they put 3 maps into rotation this time, those being Bannerfall, okay, kinda good, Altar of Flame, not too bad, and then Exodus Blue, because Bungie just really wants us to go out into a field and shoot ourselves in the back of the head, but we're not gonna do that, no, we're gonna take our Blink and play the best that we can on these maps, and honestly I feel like a good portion of the plays I have for you today are in Exodus Blue, because hey, you can tear some cheeks up on that map nonetheless, and Blink actually helps you do that quite well. Pretty simple build this week, of course this is our last trials for a couple of weeks here, until we go on a bit of a hiatus, the new season launches. It is how it is, honestly I'm fine with that. And I'm using a pretty simple build. The defining exotic we're going to be using is our Astrocyte Burst here. Of course, this is just going to give us a bunch of improvements to our Blink, makes it go further, lets us keep our radar as we go throughout, gives us 100 handling with whatever weapon we want to pull out as we exit a Blink, a bunch of stuff like that to really help us out. You can go ahead and check out all the mods here if you'd like to. I have a 100 recov build here. Go pretty hard on the mobility. You might think 60 is not very hard, but we do have 2 weapons here, that being the Wastelander, which is a lightweight frame shotgun, and the BXR 55 Battler, which is a legacy frame, but it is also in the lightweight frame pulse rifle category, so we do also get 20 mobile from both of these weapons, so no matter what weapon we have out, we are at 80 mobility, unless we have the sword out, which I didn't use that today at all, honestly, but it looks pretty cool. So, we are always at 80 mobile. That is something we'd love to see. That is basically it for the build. If you want to see anything more in depth or you have any more questions about this with the weapons and the mods, armor, stuff like that, leave those in the comments, but I'm going to go ahead and break down the Void 3.0 real quick. Now, the Void 3.0 is pretty similar to usual, but I actually just threw on some fun stuff. I kind of wanted to try some new stuff this weekend, so we have, of course, the Nova Bomb here. I think this is the best super for the Void Walker at the moment. Well, to be fair, I think that Nova Warp is the best super. Of course, it's roaming, it can take out a whole team, stuff like that, but you don't really get roaming supers nowadays in Trials. It takes a really long time, it's just really hard, so these shutdown supers like the Nova Bomb here are the best choice to go. I have an Empowering Rift on now. I almost always recommend that you put on a Healing Rift. I think that having to be as stationary as you have to be with an Empowering Rift, a good player is not really going to peak an Empowering Rift. I hear people all the time, they're like, Empowering Rifts are actually really good, and it's like, Empowering Rifts can be great, sure, if you can get somebody to peek you long enough to actually kill them with that Empowering Rift. Because a good player is going to see, oh, that's an Empowering Rift. They're going to take a good amount of damage from you on their first little peek, and then they're just going to go behind the wall and wait until your rift runs out or get you from a different angle. So the Empowering Rifts, while they can be very good, especially against teams or players that are just quite inexperienced, overall you are going to be better off with a Healing Rift, but I am rocking the Empowering Rift today. Blink, of course, because I'm not some little floaty freak. No. We like to have the Blink on our class here. We have Pocket Singularity. We don't have any other choices. I mean, look how barren this is. Why do they even give us 8 slots here when it's just Pocket Singularity? What, am I going to switch this out for a little nothing? Maybe this is where you pick if you want to have a whiff of your melee. At least that's what I would say if the melee didn't whiff every time. Anyways, because, hey, that's what melees do in this game. For our nade here, I do have on suppressor nades, which I've actually never used before. We've always had them. I've had access to these and Void Walls and the Void Spikes ever since the Void 3.0, rework, and I just never really messed with these because I like all the other nades a lot more, and they fit the identity of a Warlock a lot more, of course, because this is a Titan nade, and I shouldn't have these, in my honest opinion. It's the same thing with healing nades. Hunters and Titans shouldn't have healing nades, just like Warlocks and Hunters shouldn't have suppressor nades, because this is something that kind of defined a bit of the class identity, especially on Void Titan, and I really hate stuff like this. I think they're ruining the game in a lot of aspects by throwing this on everybody, but hey, that's the current meta we're in, that's how the game is now, and it's never going to change at this point, so we might as well embrace it and use it a little bit, right? And this is a pretty fun part of the build. We have something that combos with this pretty well that we'll get to in just a minute. For our aspects here, I do have on Feed the Void, so we can proc our Devour off of any ability kills, and then Clarence. Clarence is going to go out, but we are on an Empowering Rift. When you're on a Healing Rift, Clarence goes out, he sucks toes, he sucks cheeks, any kind of body part he can get his little mouth on, and he gives you back grenade and melee energy. When you are on an Empowering Rift, Clarence is going to go over there, he's going to suck those same body parts, but he's going to give you health back instead. So you do get a little bit of healing off your Clarence there. Always love to see that. Now we do have 4 fragment slots here because of these 2 aspects. Let's check out what we're running. First of all, I have an Echo of Dilation. That says while crouched, you sneak faster and gain enhanced radar resolution. We love that enhanced radar resolution. It really helps us, especially with an aggressive blink shotgun playstyle like I use often and I am using today. That enhanced radar really helps us break down exactly where our enemies are and go aggressive onto them. Also, that increased, movement speed while you're crouched, that's very nice. 10 mobility and 10 intellect, you can't go wrong with that as well. Moving over here, we have Echo of Persistence. Void buffs applied to you, namely our Devour, are going to last longer. Devour is going to go from 10 seconds to 15 seconds when you have Echo of Persistence on. If you are ever going to run Devour, I highly recommend you always use Echo of Persistence with your Devour. It is just so worth it to get 5 extra seconds of Devour from this Echo of Persistence. That is going to lose you 10 recovery, keep in mind, so you do want to make sure you're keeping yourself at 100 recuff however you can. After that, I have Echo of Expulsion. This is one that I almost always do recommend running as well. Void ability final blows cause your target to explode. So if you can blow them up with a nade or your melee, whatever it may be, your enemy's going to explode one extra time after that. They can take out some enemies that are grouped up on top of them. It's just a very nice thing to have. 10 intellect there, you can't go wrong with the raw stats. And then this is our combo here, Echo of Domineering. This is going to go with our suppressor innate. This says, after suppressing a target, you gain greatly increased mobility for a short duration, and your equipped weapon is reloaded from reserves. So you throw that in there, your nade, they get suppressed, you get to move a little faster, and then your weapons are just completely reloaded, and you get 10 discipline from that, which almost put me in 100 discipline. Of course, I am 1 discipline off there, really sucks, but hey, being at 99 is still pretty darn good. So that is all of our loadout that we are running. Pretty simple stuff, straightforward, like I said this last weekend here. I just wanted to throw on some fun, straightforward stuff and just have some fun with my Blink, and I think I managed to do that. I do want to mention Blink Enthusiasts. We are at 97 members. A couple of people have left in the past few days. I mean, a lot of times we'll be at 99 members because somebody joins and they're like, I want to be a Blink Enthusiast, and then they just freaking dip out after like 2 days, and it's like, brother, I don't know, throw yourself into a freaking meat grinder or something, because I don't need you around here if that's how you're going to be doing it. You're not a real Blink Enthusiast, I can just say that much right now. But if you do want to join, go ahead and join. I haven't really plugged it for a long time because, you know, we've been full a lot of times, but if you are interested, even if you're a Titan or a Hunter, you know, you don't have to be a Blink player exclusively to join, but it would be a nice bonus, especially when I'm going down here and I'm checking, like, oh, let's see what Red Wolf's running right now. Yeah, see what I mean? Look at this doofball. There's no Blink on this. What the heck? I'm not even going to get into it right now. Not too much else I want to mention, except for if you want to leave me a like or a comment on this video, that kind of engagement really does help. It shows YouTube that you are enjoying the video, and then that helps me out because they can push it to more people and I can get more views. So if you enjoy this video and you want to leave me a like, I'd really appreciate that. But all that being said, I think we're ready to get in this gameplay, so why don't we go ahead and blink on into it. Now I have one big complaint when it comes to this weekend, and that's the fact that there are 3 maps. You're going to see we're starting on an Altar of Flame here for a few plays, and then we go and we have some Bannerfall for only a couple maps, honestly a couple of clips I should say, and a lot of Exodus Blue in Altar of Flame. Now, when I play every weekend, what I like to do is make one certain build. Either I make it around an exotic weapon, exotic, you know, piece of armor, how I want to do my plays on a Blink Hunter or a Blink Warlock, whatever it may be, and I make a build specifically for one map. And I really like to refine that strategy for that map and then bring that strategy to you guys so you can implement it into your own gameplay for the rest of the weekend and anytime that map pops up in the future. When you have 3 maps in the rotation at once, there's a lot of big differences with those maps, right? You have different ranges at which you're going to be fighting, so different weapons are going to be more or less effective depending on which map you might get. There's different ways you want to push. There's so many different things that go into it. Better classes are going to be better on certain maps. And when you don't know what you're going to get, then it just kind of ruins how I like to enjoy the weekend, when I like to make that one solid Blink strategy, and then I display that to you guys, and I tell you how to use it as best as I can, and show it to you guys on that one map, and really show you different angles and different places to peek on that map. And I can't really do that when there's 3 different maps. I can just kind of tell you about the build in general, so that's what I'm going to be trying to do today. But I do want to say, you know, if anyone at Bungie's listening, which I doubt they ever will because they hate anybody that uses Blink, it seems like, hey, just make it like one map, please, because it's way better, and it just feels better. Now with this build, as you can see, slapping out pretty good with these weapons. The hipfire right here on the Battler is so amazing. Don't sleep on the hipfire, and you can see I do have my Empowering Rift. This is what I'm talking about with Empowering Rift. Let's use this clip as an example. I put my Empowering Rift down right here. I can peek straight forward where I am right now. I can look to my right where enemies will come, and I actually get shot from my right here, so you gotta be careful of that. Or I could have looked a little bit more to the left. So there's a few angles you can peek from right here with an Empowering Rift, but they didn't peek me at all. Now my Empowering Rift is gone. Sure, I have another one about halfway up. That's really cool, but you gotta understand that's what I'm saying of how these Empowering Rifts are so much weaker. I did get clearance, and that's nice, so I can actually go in aggressively, get him onto an enemy, and then he can deploy and give me some health while I'm in combat. But if people just don't peek the Empowering Rift, it takes away the entire point of the Empowering Rift. I kill that guy, approx my Devour, I get to heal up a little bit, get behind cover, throw down my Empowering Rift. Now this is a spot where Empowering Rift really comes in handy. This guy wants to push me, he comes into view here, and I can smack him really easily with some nice hipfire shots while I am in that Empowering Rift and just kill him really quick. You saw 31 to the head each time. Now another good part about Empowering Rifts is right now I am not at max power level. And a lot of people are by this time in the season. So when they are and you are not, this can kind of help bridge that gap to where you can take those gunfights way more evenly and even have the advantage even if you're not at max power level. And especially if you are at max power level and then you're in an empowering rift, it just makes you hit super hard. You can see my teammate goes down there, I smack this guy, I reload, I do have kill clip on this battler, so you see I have kill clip now. My clearance is ticking 2 people there. I could tell there was 2 people getting ticked there from my clearance based off how many ticks were coming out. Your clearance is going to tick about once a second on one person, so when you see 11, 11, 11, 11 that quickly in a row, you know he's taking more than one person at once, so keep that in mind. Clearance is a great thing to keep track of if you don't have your radar up as you are pushing an enemy. If you're just coming out of aiming down sights with your gun, you can see the clearance ticks through a wall and follow exactly where they are. Now watch this, look at the left side of the screen, domineering for 10 seconds when I hit that guy with my suppressor nade. So once you suppress someone, you have the domineering. I fly in on this guy because I have the extra movement speed there, the extra top mobility. I will tell you right now, domineering when it is active gives you plus 30 to your mobility. That is a huge boost. Now, if you saw earlier, like I was telling you, I have 2 lightweight weapons, so I'm always at 80 with my current build. So whenever I have domineering active, I go all the way up to 100 mobile. That's very, very good. So keep that in mind if you even want to run 70 overall mobile for when you do hit those domineering shots, and then you can go in like crazy. Did you see how much damage I hit on that second guy? That's another good example of how if you do get the Empowering Rift to work, and then you can combine the Empowering Rift with a kill clip proc, you can hit for over 40 to the head each time. So let's think, 4, 8, 12, right? You can hit for over 120 with one burst on somebody. Now, of course, you know, these Titan players have more than one brain cell every now and again, but most of the time they're walking around with 0 brain cells in their head. So my teammate had to slam my other teammate into the wall at the end of the beginning of the round there, and he didn't even have the common decency to go back and res him, so I had to go ahead and res my teammate. I throw in the nade there, no domineering procs. I slide in on this guy, was able to take him out, proc my devour, get to full health. Looking for the next guy, miss him a little bit, but I was able to flick over with my melee there and take him out with a nice melee. My teammate blows himself to Kingdom Come, but he takes the enemy with him, so hey, a nice little thing there to end the round off. Looking around here, sometimes you can go to the left side of the people here. If you see where this guy is standing, I was able to take him out really easy because he was not paying attention. Reload, I have kill clip, place an empowering rift, kill clip, empowering rift. That's what I'm saying here. Look how much damage I did. I knew Clarence was going to kill that guy, so I let Clarence do it, proc my devour, and flying on this guy with my shotgun. Mapped him pretty well, hit about 8 pellets there, and my teammate took him out really, really easily. Now, when the power ammo is spawning, no matter what map you're on, you're going to want to go ahead and cover it, and with a build like this, it's very, very easy to watch that power ammo. I did throw my empowering rift down, but I threw it down for my teammates. I shoot Clarence in here, let him get on the enemies, and throw out my nade. No procs of that, but that's okay. We still fly in, take the one guy out, blink forward behind this guy. He does have peregrines on, so we gotta be careful. Wipe him out, slide into this guy. Unfortunately, my slide shot did not reload my shotgun. You gotta remember your slide shot actually does have an internal cooldown of about a second or 2, so if you slide once, it'll reload your shotgun once. And then if you slide again, it won't necessarily reload it on that next slide. You do need to wait a second sometimes before it will actually let you slide and reload another bullet. And if it could reload that much with slide shot, it probably would be a bit overpowered. So I do understand why there is that internal cooldown built in. You can see I was actually healing a little bit there. And oh, here we go. Destiny servers have been atrocious the past few days. I was trying to do in a community event, doing some all blink control matches on Thursday. I had to cancel the entire event because the servers were down for the entire night. They were a little shitty today too. You can see I fly in on this guy. I actually had him suppressed right there, and that's good. This match you're going to see, it's going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. That guy was a Peregrine crutching Titan. This guy is a stasis crutching Warlock. He had no right to win that round, but when my teammates literally can't move to fight back at him, it's going to happen. But I do want to mention, go back really quick, about how I killed that Titan there. When I had him suppressed, I made sure I pushed him really, really quickly with my shotgun, because he can't use his Titan melee ability to get the one shot with the Peregrines. So when he's actually suppressed like that, he's basically a sitting little rock, you know? These Titans are dog shit when they have to crutch on their Peregrines and they can't actually play the game. So keep that in mind. If you can suppress them and they have their Peregrines, push them as fast as you can, because chances are you're going to be able to slap them and they're not going to be able to crutch like they want to. They're wearing those Peregrines for a reason, and the reason is they cannot play the game as well as you. Now, of course, hey, a little error code weasel there. You'll love to see it. I was like, shoot, can I even get back in this match as fast as I can? I did. This is the next round after that. Got BS'd on that round there because storm grenades, you know, this guy's crutching everything in the book. He's an Arc Titan, what do you expect? But good thing we saw on the 12 that they're getting nerfed. What? Oh, hold on, I'm getting word. Okay, I just got word from home base. There's actually no nerfs coming to Arc Titan or Arc Warlock or, you know, any classes, because that makes sense. Great job, Bungie. You really know how to balance your game, except for you don't at all. But I did rejoin here. You can see it's just a 2v3. My other teammate, unfortunately, never rejoins, but this guy was slapper. I had to let him know. I was like, holy shit, man. You are handsome as hell. Good job. He carried that entire round, smacked him up, as well as he 1v3'd the previous round before I joined back. I joined back into the game, and he had just finished doing a 1v3 successfully. So he was carrying me pretty well. I was like, great, I got to snap up, I got to sit up for this guy, and we got to win this because there's no way we're losing this match. You can see he pushed me there a little bit. I was like, whoa, calm down, brother. Put your Empowering Rift where I am right now. You can use this crack in the box here to shoot your enemies with the Empowering Rift and do a lot of damage to them. Now, with my good hip fire, I was able to smack this guy down, help my teammate live there, and then all I needed to do was take out one more guy. I obviously saw from my teammate that he was very, very good at fighting the enemies at this point. So I killed 2, I let him take out the last one, boom, there we go, 4-4. Like I said, really did not want to lose. Unfortunately, my super was nowhere near up because they kicked me out of the match, so I had to rejoin, so my super regeneration, you know, it wasn't where it should have been, so that kind of sucked. That guy there, I hit him pretty good. This guy flies in. I knew Clarence was probably going to kill him, and luckily that was the exact case. Clarence kills him. That is an amazing thing to have in the corner there. Now, I wanted to get aggressive on to that ghost, but I had to be careful, you know. I was waiting to see if my teammate wanted to get aggressive, and if he did, I was going to follow him up. He did. He takes that one out. I blink in. I hit this guy a little bit, but then, of course, you know, this Titan shield is, pissing me off. But luckily, my teammate just smacks that guy. That guy was like, oh, I'm going to fly in, brother. Nope, you're going to sit the fuck down. Nice job. You really wanted to crush with your Peregrines. Your boy wanted to crush with that stasis. Unfortunately, my balls might have froze over to the 9th layer of hell, but guess what? I thought him out, and I come right in your ass. I mean, what? Sorry, somebody hacked me right there and said something with my voice. It wasn't me. So we're going to go ahead into the next clip here. You can see I have a lot of Exodus Blue because they were giving me Exodus Blue a lot more than the other maps. I would say I was getting Exodus Blue maybe 60% of the time. 30% of the time was Altar of Flame, and like 10% of the time I was getting Bannerfall. I think I got Bannerfall like 2 times the entire night. I threw in the suppressor nade there. You can see that guy was suppressed. He didn't have Peregrines on or anything, so the suppression didn't matter as much. But again, he couldn't shoulder charge me because he was suppressed, so he was just a sitting duck. So his only choice at that point, if he wanted to stop me from getting that res, was to push through that shield and try to fight me. And I was just ready sitting there with my shotgun, and I put him, you know, into the fucking grave, put him into the dirt. And that's exactly what you're looking to do. See, suppressor nades can be so useful, and they're really so powerful. I should not have access to them as a warlock. I fully acknowledge that, but hey, here we are. Speaking of powerful nades, here comes a storm nade. I was like, okay, screw this. I'm gonna go around, see if I can cut off this other, you know, first pick that I got. And unfortunately, this guy comes around the corner, but I was able to suppress him. Even though he didn't take a bunch of damage from the suppression, he still shit his little pants. You gotta remember, when people get suppressed, they freak out and they run away. Speaking of freaking out, I actually freaked out a little bit. I should have switched to my battler there when he was running in, but I just didn't really switch fast enough, so I shot with my shotgun. It was just a silly play to do, but I was able to shape up here, you know, hit my shots and take these guys out, and that's just a good form, a good showing of how good the battler is. And it really is an incredibly effective gun from so many different ranges, and it might possibly be my favorite pulse in the game when I really think about it hard. Now I throw in the suppressor nade there. You can see around 90, 80 damage, whatever it was. Follow up, as soon as I hit that suppressor nade, what I'm looking to do is get really aggressive because I have Domineering on the left side of the screen there. When I have the Domineering there, I know they're suppressed. I like to fly in with a shotgun, see if I can just take them out really quick. They're going to have so many ways that they can't fight back against me. They can't use Empower melees. They can't use their nades when I'm flying in on them like that because they're suppressed. So when they are suppressed and you have Domineering active, I highly suggest to you to take out your shotgun, your fusion rifle, whatever you may have, and use that aggression and just go crazy on them. Now again, this is the same match. I was doing the same play. You can see 112 damage there. I was sliding into my right here, peeking to my left immediately, see if I can get an angle on him. There was nobody there, so I thought maybe he flew back, but he was kind of sitting there. Now he was waiting for me, and his teammate was shooting at my teammate, so I flew in, smacked this guy's head straight off of his body, reload, I have kill clip. I was thinking putting a rift down, but unfortunately he was kind of pushing me. I was able to take my kill clip and my hip fires and just smack him down. My teammate starts going in the chat here. These guys, oh, is this? Yeah, this is the game. These guys are so funny because these teammates just started fighting with each other in the chat, and I was just like, oh lord. And there's one guy named Daddy. Okay, you'll see in the chats when I open them here in a second, because this guy kept sending chats of each other, and they're just roasting each other like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Can you get some freaking kills? And he's like, look at my KD and look at yours, buddy boy. You want to come over here and tell me? And he's like, kills are not all that matters. KD is not all that matters. You can be stupid and get killed. And it's like, you are right. Like, the first round, that Daddy guy, he did screw up really bad. I think even I was like, brother, why didn't you just get my res? Because he was like standing on my res, I think was the game, and I got picked from a sniper, and he could have just res me, but instead he like went in really hard. But anyways, you'll see how it works out here. I put my rift down here. Watch my clearance. I have to point this out. This is the best tracking I've ever had in a clearance. I kill this guy. Look at my clearance. It flies all the way down that hallway and starts ticking on this guy. It weakens him, it does damage. I had to show that to you guys because my Clarence, usually he just like flies into a wall when there's an enemy right in front of him and he's just like, am I doing good, father? And I'm like, Clarence, buddy, I need you to go and do damage to the enemy. And he's just like, father, I cannot get around this wall. And I'm like, Clarence, you need to fly around the corner, buddy. And he's just like, father, I cannot do that. And it's like, you know what, you're trying your best. I'm proud of you either way. They had a stinky little warlock that was floating in midair. You see at the top of the screen there, I saw the trails of the fire, and I knew this one was floating up there, so I flicked up, took him out, had kill clip. You can see Clarence actually did track him pretty well, but he was kind of dead for my shot, so it didn't really matter. Throw in the nade there, and I knew that I could probably just get around the corner and watch that first pick I got, so that's what I did. I come around here, take some shots at this guy, I fly over here with my shotgun, land behind him, and absolutely map him down. My teammate takes out the last one, and we win this round pretty handedly right there. Pretty proud of that. You can see the teammates were kind of starting to talk nice to each other after I made a little joke. I was like, daddies, don't fight, calm down. And they were like, all right, we'll chill, we got this. And we did have it. We were doing pretty good. My teammate had his thunder crash and I had my nova bomb. I was waiting for him to kind of thunder crash first if I could, so I was just taking shots. He goes in, he gets one, he takes out a second. I fly on, the last guy has his tether, so I want to make sure I get him super before he does. I throw it under him just in case he flicked up and shot me with his tether. What that would have done is he would have landed on top of my nova bomb and died either way, or my teammates would have followed up very easily. But that was just, you know, insurance basically saying, okay, I'm going to put this nova bomb into a position where he has no choice but to fall into it and die to it. Now, these are our last 3 clips. So I do want to say thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Again, if you do want to leave me a like, a comment, or anything like that, or even help me and support me in the top way that you can, which is by becoming a member on the channel and getting a lot of different perks, including being able to play with me and the other Puffer people every single week, or joining the Discord and getting a special role on there, and getting access to a special voice channel and text channel in the Discord, so you can have even more ways, I should say, to talk to me and have interactions with me if that's something that interests you, as well as some access to early videos. Whenever I upload a video the night before, you know, you're going to get early access anywhere from like 16, 12, however many hours early to a video, be able to watch it early. So if that's kind of stuff, you know, that interests you, then go ahead and check that out. You can click the join button below the video and become a Puffer person yourself. I'd really appreciate that. But yeah, that's going to be coming to these last few clips here. And I gotta say, I'm pretty excited for a new season to start. Hopefully, Bungie can figure out the lag that's been happening in the past season, and maybe they can just have the servers work in this next season, because if the servers aren't working when Ranked launches, and if the servers are still laggy and everything when Ranked launches, it's gonna be very painful. So that's the only thing that I'm looking out for, because if the state of the game when Ranked comes out here and I'm trying to get as high of a rank as I can, and it's been as bad as it has this season, then that's going to be really bad. So I'm just trying to be cautiously optimistic. You know, I don't think they've implemented enough nerfs and buffs to things that they need to change the sandbox and the meta enough to be at a more comfortable position. I think that they're really, you know, dropping the ball when it comes to nerfing certain things like Arc Titan. The Invis nerfs are a start, but they're certainly not enough. And we're going to start seeing things like that, just making the meta crumble even more if they don't actually address it and do some big sweeping changes. And I hope they actually do take a season off and just say, hey, we're just going to do a quality of life season. We're not even going to give you that much content. What we're going to do is just focus all of our resources onto quality of life changes, and hopefully they do that. But we'll see what happens there. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And that is going to be it for me today as this play finishes off. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys. And as always, have a great day, Guardians.